We're good? Okay, so you guys have been to the field before. You probably have a generator that has failed because someone either poured water in there and as fuel, or mixed fuel in the oil system. And what happened? The generator failed, destroyed it, right? And the whole power grid went down. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to operate and set up a diesel powered generator. So we're going to go through the steps of how to set up the hazmat pit, the cabling, the grounding wire over here, and as well as walking around and giving the general setup of how the generator should operate. So let's start off with, before we set up, we're going to have a hazmat pit. This is going to stop any fuel or oil, any hazardous materials from leaking out into the environment and making a mess. As well, we're going to have a grounding system here. You want to set this up there? Grounding is important because, you know, it discharges static buildup, so no one gets electrocuted. It protects the equipment, and, you know, it makes the gear run better. So you have grounding wire, you have 3 grounding rods. Right now we really can't ground it because we're on asphalt, but if we were on soft ground, we could pound it in. You would have 3 grounding rods, 3 deep, dig a hole. You would hook up this grounding wire here to the grounding load stud. And once that's connected, you would add salt and water to reduce resistance. Got it all set up. Next, we're going to walk around the generator and we're going to check that everything's okay. So you're going to open it up and you're going to check the oil. A lot of times you guys know that the oil is low, the Jenny gets messed up, right? So a lot of people don't check the oil. So you're going to check the oil. This oil is a little bit dirty, but it seems to be about the right level. If the oil was low, you would open this cap right here and fill it up to where you need it. Making sure it's 1540 oil, right? And not fuel. Next what we're going to do is we're going to check the fuel level. We're going to open up this compartment right here. And we're going to check the fuel level. The fuel looks about good. And if you were to add it, you would go to this a fuel can, not a water can, because I know you guys like to fill it up with water, and check it. We're going to open it up and smell it. It smells like diesel fuel to me. If it doesn't smell like diesel fuel, you got a problem. How we come along here with the load studs. Good? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to walk around, check for any leaks, any cracks, any burnt or frayed wires. Because you don't want to have a short circuit, you don't want anything to be messed up. So as we're walking around, we'll look at the wiring, make sure the battery is set up. You have no burns, no leaks, no cracks. Everything looks pretty good to me. Next we're going to do is we're going to start it up. So we're going to turn the switch right here, right? The prime and run. You got to give it a second to warm up. You got your fuel level right here. And now it's ready to crank. I'm not going to crank it right now so you guys can hear me. This will be too loud, but at the end I will crank it up. Once you've cranked it up, you're going to hook up and make sure everything's running properly. You're going to hook up your cabling to your load studs. You have 5 cables, different color coded. You have a grounding cable, a neutral cable which is bound to ground, a phase 1, a phase 2, and a phase 3. The grounding cable will always be green, neutral will always be white, phase 1 will always be black, phase 2 will always be red, and sometimes you'll have an off color, so it could be blue, it could be orange, that will be phase 3. It's very important you don't mix up the phases because certain motors will not run and certain gear will not operate properly. Get over there, Norman. While waiting on that, you're gonna look at this monitor right here. During operation, temperature should be about 130 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And your oil pressure should be about 60 degrees. 60 pounds per square inch.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes.
How much is this generator loaded for like this power? How much
This is a 5 kW generator.
Oh.
So you got
And like, let's say like I don't have an instructor like you. Where would I go to figure out that information?
that information. It's a good question actually. You can refer to the Marine Corps TM 092446 Charlie for any of your questions. Any question imaginable, it's in that book. So ready to power up now. Newman, you're good. So the generator's gonna idle for a little bit, right? Once it's done idling, you're gonna check your gen set voltage, right? The voltage should be about 120 volts, right? Each. From phase to phase is gonna be 208 volts, cool? And your frequency is gonna be 60 hertz. You can adjust that by going through your screen, through adjustments, and going up and down and adjusting there. But right now it seems to be good. Once you're ready and everything is around looks secure and nothing looks dangerous, you're gonna contact the load. Once the load's contacted, those bolts will be live and extremely dangerous. So you're gonna clear out in the area, don't have any wires running through there, anything in this area, and you're gonna contact the load by hitting the AC circuit interrupter. And it's hit. So now you got bus voltage and this thing's ready to go. There's no current running through right now because there's nothing pulling power, but if you were, you'd be able to read right here about how much power is flowing. So when you're done with the generator, you're gonna shut it down by pressing the AC circuit interrupter. And you're gonna turn it off. Now, in conclusion, I hope I've taught you all a little bit how to turn on, operate the generator in a safe manner. Is there any questions? Yes, Sergeant George.
Why do the fuel jugs and the water jugs look alike? And how can I tell the difference?
You can tell the difference very easily. Usually by the cap. One will say water, or the cap on a water jug will have a little screw with the relief to let you have flow. But sometimes people like to mix them up, or they get lazy and they don't feel like distinguishing between them. Any other questions? Yes.
When you're running maintenance on the generator, how often should you change the oil?
It goes by hourly.
Hourly?
So every 500 hours of continuous running, or based on if it's burning oil, or you look check it and there's a little bit of like metal shavings, you can change the oil at that time as well. Any other questions? So in conclusion, yes.
What kind of generator is this?
This is a diesel power generator. It's the engine's made by Cummins. Any questions? Thank you. I hope I taught you something today.